Hey Flosstube, it's Lori of Mischievous Stitches, and this is Jacob, my son. He's 18 years old. He'll be 19 years old in a little over a month, and he will be leaving less than 2 weeks after that, or a little over a week after that, for basic training for the Air Force in San Antonio, Texas. So, all you floss tubers, my Cretia and Leslie, you girls out there in Texas, when we come for basic training, I would love to meet up with you girls and check out that local needlework shop. I know I'll be contacting a couple of you, but I'm very excited. He's always wanted to do this. You can see he's letting his hair grow out because it won't be long, you won't have any left. His dad gives him a hard time about his hair, but it's okay. I thought I'd bring him on today and just let him ask a few questions of me, and I would ask a few questions of him, and it's not rehearsed. I think the only, what?
Yeah, I'm red. And then
I know, it does that with me too. It's just the lighting. See? No, I'm still redder than you are. I'm pink.
Can you fix it?
No, I can't. It's just the way the light hits in
Sorry,
here.
I'm very random.
So what's it like having a stitcher for a mom?
You know, it's fun and all. We used to sit in the living room, and she has like her designated piece of the couch, and we can't sit there because it's got stitching lighting. So we're not allowed to sit over there when she comes in the room. We just used to watch movies and all that stuff when we were little.
You gotta look at the camera. They want to see your handsome face. He told me. He told me when I asked. That's the only question I did ask him prior to this. And I said, "What is it like having a mom that stitches?" And he said, "Lots of nights with no dinner." I'm sure. Do any of you starve your children? You know, just for the sake of stitching in the evening? I never starved you though, did I? Really?
Yes, you did.
How often?
Back in the day, one time, my mom was stitching, and we didn't have milk in the house, so I had Frosted Flakes with tea. I have had Frosted Flakes with tea.
That's
one time.
just your weird choice.
Well, we had no milk, and it just happened to be there.
I want you to know this guy even now can go through more than a gallon of milk in a week. Like 4 or 5 days, he goes through a gallon of milk. I don't see how he drinks that much, but he does. It's a proven fact. You get itchy nose when you do these videos. Everybody talks about it. His nose is itching. Flosstube itchy nose. What's my favorite piece that you've stitched?
That I've stitched?
No. Oh, I did say you've stitched. What's your favorite piece that I've stitched?
Well, the one that you're still continuously making for me.
That is,
It's a big piece, but she's had it for years.
It's
and she's got one in my room. I don't know if she showed you that. I can get it.
Yeah, I have.
The one in my room, the 13 Dead Men.
We call it 13 Men on a Dead Man Ship, but it's the Skeleton Crew by Cricket Collection. I stitched that for him several years ago, and it's hanging in his room. But the unfinished one it's a
big one.
It's called a Heaven and Earth design. They know exactly what that is. So it's a full coverage, Heaven and Earth, and I was stitching it 1/1 on 25 count. Lots of gray and black, and gray and black, and gray and black.
It's a knight, and on a horse, and I think on a castle wall behind him.
Yeah, and there's a lady at the gate. He's leaving for battle, and she's behind him, closing the gate. So I think I have done, it's 8 pages, and I think I have done 2.5 or close to 3, I think. One day. When I started doing these Flosstube videos, I did pick it back up and tried working on it on the cross-country method that some of you have shown on Thursday. Or some kind of stitch along, was it a Haid Thursday or full coverage Thursday or something? And that lasted about a month. I just cannot get in the groove on that piece, and I know he loves it, and I will plow through just for him. But got anything to ask me?
I don't know. Is it stitching related stuff?
Oh, you want to put me on the spot and ask me something that's not stitching related?
Well, I don't know a lot of stitching questions.
Okay. What do you want to ask? Do you have something you want to ask? Should I be worried? Who's my favorite child?
Me.
They all say that. What
my
makes you
two
think?
sisters, they know I'm the favorite.
I want you to know they spoiled this guy more than I did. They're both older than him.
And they make me food. I never have made food. I can make my own food, and I have before, but since they moved out, I had to make my own food more often.
Poor thing. He's so rotten. He's having
She
a
boiled
feel
me
for
a whole
himself.
pot of peanuts yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
Actually, I boiled them.
Yeah, he boiled a pot of peanuts yesterday. They're in season. They were nice and large, and
There's still a good bit in there.
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of cold peanuts.
All right.
I don't microwave them or whatever.
So, what do you want to do some stitching questions? See if you know. Do you know what a whip is?
The dance.
What is that? Whip and nay nay?
Or the...
Yes. No, whip is a work in progress. So this one here is a work in
Then what's the
progress.
age? Or whip? Or is it just WIP?
There's
Whip.
WIP,
Whip.
work in progress. Do you know what haul is?
Homie, always lying.
Homie always lying. No, HAUL.
HAUL. It's like you haul a truck. You haul stuff in a truck.
How about you haul stuff in the house from the mailbox that has stitching in it?
Yeah. Oh, that can make sense. Like a pack opening.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
An unboxing.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who... hold on just a second. Do you know who this is? This is Emily here on Flosstube's husband. He's Jimmy Flosstube. I'll have to show you his video later. You'll like it.
That picture, though.
Well, that's what makes you like. That's the fun part. What
So
you
I
see
can be
is
Jacob
what you see is
Flosstube.
what you get. No, you're not Jacob Flosstube. You have to come up with your own name.
Carl Flosstube.
That's his first name.
Rondez Flosstube.
Rondez. Who is
You
that?
just said I had to come up with my own name.
I meant last name. It's not going to be Flosstube. Rondez. Where did Rondez come from? Well, let's see.
Rondez could be a last name.
What is a project pouch?
Like that.
No, that's a project. He's talking about my piece on the QCent. What is a project pouch?
The pouch with a project in it.
That is true. This is a project pouch.
That's a sewing bag.
No, this is a project pouch or a project envelope, which I'm going to show you in a minute because I sewed those up yesterday. Anything
Did you
else?
make that?
I did not make that. Someone on Etsy made that and I ordered it.
She stole this room from me.
I told him that if he couldn't take care of his own room, he wasn't moving up here and making another mess in this one. His room is a disaster.
That's not true. My room has
A
a
smell.
design to it.
It's a smell.
That's from years of being like a 5th grade boy that didn't
Years.
shower for like 2 weeks at
You're-
spans of time.
But don't you think at some time that smell would dissipate and it's still
No,
there?
because I had like 14 boys in there one time.
And I love it. I really miss those nights where you would have... My husband would just say, why do they always have to come over here? And I'd say, well, because we feed them. Well, why do you feed them? But he would have his room packed with boys and the door would be shut and you would hear banging on the walls and the basketball on the door and the dog would be barking from the noise of them in the house. But one of the guys did come up. All of them have gone off to college except for one that is going to college in town, and Jacob that is going in the Air Force. So
Drew's here.
Oh, and Drew. So all of his buddies that's palled around here are off. And I know last night was so funny. I posted an Instagram picture of
Southern Caviar.
Yeah, Southern Caviar, and his buddies off at college contacted him and said, "Oh, your mom's making that Southern Caviar." So I told him when he comes back in town, we'll make him a meal what he wants to have. All right, well, I'm gonna let you pop off, and I'm gonna finish this video up unless you just want to sit here with me.
You know how long your hair is? Like flip that way? No, like look back this way. Look at your hair.
I can't.
You got a lot of hair.
I do have a lot of hair. I spent a couple hours yesterday cutting out fabric for project bags, and I'm very happy with what I've got. I started off the year wanting to do one bag a month and have fabric that coordinates with that month. And I got up through July, I think. And so I made some for the rest of the year. And this is my November bag. And this has the grapes or muscadines or cranberries or some random, those are snozberries. If you're a Willy Wonka fan, you'll know what a snozberry is. But it just has a color coordinating fabric in the inside. And then this is my August bag. And this has the sunflowers. You can't do August without sunflowers. And once again, it just has a color coordinating fabric inside. He's a plunderer. Then I have the Mickey Mouse bag. So this was going to be my September bag. I bought all this fabric and I got home and I had skipped the month of September. So I found this at Walmart and I really like the fabric. And then this is the inside. And when I get fabric for bags, I usually get a yard of inner and a yard of outer. And I will make an extra bag in case I want to give one away. Well, this time I didn't want to. So what I ended up doing was making a reverse bag of this one. So the inside of this one is the outside of this one. And then I'm watching this. Hold on just a second. This is M is for Mischief. Mischievous stitches. Really like those. And then this is my Halloween bag. Really like this fabric. This is my favorite little guy here. This is the inner fabric. And what was so fun is when I was putting this bag together, I noticed that there was a really cool effect on the other side of this fabric. So on the reverse side of this inner fabric, this is what it looked like. And I loved the look of that more than this. So I made another bag of this, and of course I hated wasting this fabric, but I didn't have another coordinating fabric, but I really like this outside fabric. And unfortunately, I did not have enough of the Velcro closures. I only had 2. Of course, I ended up making a total of 8 bags, and I've got a couple for a gift for my closest friends, and the rest, the other 6 are my own. And I got a wonderful gift this week from Miss Betty. Thank you, Miss Betty. She sent me a project pouch. So I've got one for, look at that inner fabric, and it's gold. Can you tell that that's a shiny, yeah, you can tell a little bit that's a shiny gold. And there's also a little bit of metallic around the poinsettia. I love poinsettia, so I'm very happy to have this bag. I love it a lot. And she also sent me this that she stitched up herself, one of the Prairie Schooler Santas. I am so tickled to have these. It's something to me extra special when someone takes the time to stitch something for you, knowing the time that goes in it. I'm real careful with gifting things that I make, because most times in the past when I've given things away, it's not appreciated, or it's not understood how much time and effort went into it. And I want to make sure, Miss Betty, you understand how much I do appreciate these gifts. And I will put this one to good use, and this one will definitely be displayed at Christmas. And Jacob's going to do a review on this piece that he's found I had pulled out to show today. So,
if you look very closely here, you notice there's a B and an O. And the ghost is supposed to be an O. And if you know what that means, it's a boo. It says boo. It's like a little Halloween pun. And you got a spider down there, and it's got two little eyeballs.
I forgot that he had eyeballs.
It's got little eyeballs.
I see.
And you got the little Batman logo. Dark Knight Rises. And it's a tiny piece, and it doesn't feel like my mom's normal stuff.
It's not. That's perforated paper. You're exactly right.
Yeah, see, I know my Flosstube. You got two pumpkins on here. I don't know what that is. There's something right there.
It's an exclamation point.
Oh, huh, boo. I see that now.
And while he's showing you that, I pulled that out because I made a finish this week. And this is Morning Star Santa by Foxwood Crossing on one of the Foxwood Crossing sleighs. And Foxwood Crossing, the home of Foxwood Crossing, is the Dixie Darling in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And I finished this up. I started it on Santa Sunday XS on Instagram with Priscilla and Chelsea. And when I finished this up, because I was given good instructions within the pack of how to finish this, I had this piece that I had finished that he just showed you years ago. And I bought this box. I bought this paper mache box to finish it, and never had because I was unsure of how to put this onto the top. And now that I have a good idea, and more ideas from my friend Laura Lee on how to finish this box up and paint it, I will be working to do that like this week. And so hopefully next week when I do another video, I will have not a finish, but an FFO, a fully, you know what that is? FFO.
Fully far from finished. FFF.
Those are whips. I like that, far from finished. That would be FFF though.
It's like free for all.
That's going to be my new one. FFF. Far from finished. But I will finish this up next weekend, and it's a fully finished object. When you finish it into something like this is a fully finished object. It's framed. Or the sleigh is fully finished. There's nothing else I have to do.
I'll have this. Hopefully this will be a FFO, but I didn't.
Fully finished object.
But you also said you won't get it done, so I was trying to think of something that's like not done. So that's why I said far from finished.
But this has been at least 7 years ago, at least. And it's just been sitting there. But this is one of the Mill Hill kits. And also, I pulled this out, and this is a piece. I took a class with Blackbird Designs at a Silver Needle retreat several years ago. And there was a pen keep envelope, as well as this. That is a bump.
What's that?
They had us paint these paper mache boxes and then stitch this piece to go on top. And I just never have finished this up. I've never taken the time.
Tisk, tisk.
Never taken the time, and so I don't know that I'll get this done next weekend, but I did pull it out, and I'm ready to finish this up. That leads me to the last thing that I have all the supplies to finish up, and did it. This is a Cricut Collection design, and it's getting close to October. And there are some, I think in the skeleton guide, there is some of the glow-in-the-dark threads. There are some Krynics, like in the lion's mane and on the witch. And I saw this stitched up at the Needler in Lexington, South Carolina years ago, and bought it and decided to stitch it. And on the pattern, it calls for it to be finished inside a Sudbury box. And they were expensive, but I ordered it because I wanted to finish it up. And I haven't finished it up. So once again, pull it out, put it in my sight, so that I will have, maybe I will be prompted to finish all 3 of those up. But one thing that got me on that thread is this is Witchelt fabric. And I said on thread, this fabric. See that crease, that wrinkle? It goes this way and it goes this way. This has been ironed and ironed and ironed and wet and ironed again, and that just will not come out. It makes me angry. But maybe I'll finish that one up this coming weekend, but maybe not, maybe just this month.
We got an FFA right there.
An FFA?
An FFF.
What did you say it was again?
Far from finished.
Far from finished. Yes, this is an FFF. This is Theron Traditions Pins and Needles. We're doing a stitch along on Facebook, Emily of Eclectic Possessions and I, and as well as on Instagram. And this is where I am as of right now. And I will spend a little more time this evening stitching on it some more. And what else am I stitching on? I am stitching on, yeah, I want that whole stack. Sorry, lots of forehead. This is Nantucket Rose. What are you doing?
It says about a forehead.
Nantucket Rose Stitch Along by Dina of Half Stitch Cross Stitch has created an event for that. And I've added a little more of the greenery here and here this week. But I put it down to start needles and pins since it started on the 1st. So this is another FFF. And yesterday, since I had finished up the sleigh, which was my Santa Sunday excess piece, I picked up this old whip. And this is a piece that I started with the EGA in my area some time ago, and I had never stitched a needle point piece before. But yesterday there was only a little of the white done, so I finished up the white here, and added these 2 bands, but I'm going to need an additional, I don't know what you call it, ball of pearl cotton to finish this up, the 502. So I may not work on this next weekend unless I can get that pearl cotton in, because I don't think it's something I'm going to be able to source here locally. But I will say, it is difficult on my fingers. I had bought this to mat one of the doilies. Bye, you guys. I had bought these to use when I frame one of the doilies. When I plan to sew it to the mat. These come in great working on that needlepoint piece. I think it's the thickness of the pearl cotton threads when you have 4 pieces going into the canvas. It's difficult to pull them. So these came in handy, and I'm going to say thimble for lack of a better word, but you have one on this finger and then one on your thumb to help you pull. And they're made out of that rubbery, it's the soft rubbery feel, like a latex. So a lot of people ask me about this, and it's called Garland Twist by Susan Kernd. It's K-E-R-N-D-T. And like I said, this is a piece that we did with the local Embroiderers Guild of America. What else? I think I have mentioned everything. No, I haven't. I haven't talked to you about haul. So, should have got Jacob's give me a name of for all this haul. I showed this one on Instagram. I found him. I had to have him. He's awesome. He's a Santa. Look at that guy. Now this is the same pattern all around, and this is just a repeat of the sampler. He has a pipe. He has a whisper beard. And he has a sampler in his bag. How cool is that? He is carrying a sampler. And he doesn't have it rolled up or squished in the bag. He's holding it with his hands to keep it from getting wrinkled. Santa knows what he's doing. I had to get him. He spoke to me. So this will be a Santa Sunday excess start sometime this year. And actually, it fell out. Someone's already called dibs on this. I also got West Wind cross-stitch designs, and it said, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in need of a wife." Jane Austen. I have a problem, girls and guys. I have a problem. Just say no to the bait of evil. I can't do it. I will say I've been much better this week. I have bought nothing from eBay this week. Nothing. And then yesterday, I watched Hedro Stitches, and she shows these books, and she taunts me because I can't have all the books. And I had to go order one of the books that she showed. So buying one book led me to buy 3 books. So I have 3 books on the way. No patterns, just books. Then I bought this one. I love the sampler, and I don't like this piece. I don't like the colors. They look iridescent, bright, putrid pink. This is the original. It's a Scottish sampler. This is by Ellen Chester. It's a reproduction by Ellen Chester. But this is Agnes Scott. And that is my maiden name. Now, am I kin to Agnes? Lord only knows. But I love the house. And I love this. Not this. But this. So when I go to stitch it, I'm going to do my best to match these colors. Not this, but this. And that is With Thy Needle, is the name of the company. And then I got a lot of just cross stitch. It was $7 for this lot. And there were 2 things in it from 2 magazines that I wanted. And I didn't have any of these. And I wanted the pattern for this. So I have a question for those that have this magazine. Is the pattern for this stocking in this book? Because it's not on the back. It's not listed. It gives a article. There's an article in here about Mary Beale, who did the cover stocking, is the designer. I don't know about your magazines, but my magazine doesn't have the piece in it. And this was one of the 2 that I wanted, which is why I bought these magazines. So I was disappointed, and I have looked through it 3 times because I really wanted to stitch it. So I don't know if you can see that. I did mark that inside of there. And then I'm going to skip the ones that I'm not going. I know that there's nothing in there I'm going to stitch. Then I have this one. This is November, December 88. And I marked this because look who stitched it. Darlene Osteen. And then I see this by Canterbury Design, which was actually out of Martinez, Georgia. And yes, we say Martinez. I know it's Martinez, but we call it Martinez, Georgia. And of course, they're no longer designing. But I love this pattern, so I'm going to be on the look for that one. And this is Jane Woodward's sampler. Let all your words and actions be sincere. And of course, A Man of Good Sense. Now you've probably seen this on the striped rose. You know, because if Michelle, either of the Michelles have it, I want it. Then this is December 89, just cross stitch. See a theme? Can you tell that I was shopping for Santa Sunday things? This looks like my friend Dawn. She loves birdies. She's a bird watcher. And then I marked, they don't have it on the back, and what I have in here is a black and white, but it's a chart for a little white church. But this is the other one I got for this. I really love this. And now all of a sudden everyone's doing, is it Lantern Lane? Lantern. A little house chart with Chelsea and Priscilla. But I love this. So this will be a Santa Sunday start. Which, sorry about that. My video limit. I've hit 30 minutes. This is December 1990. Oops, I pulled my marker out. Oh well. But see all the ornaments that's in there? I had marked a couple out of this. And then I had marked this page because I want to look for this, the Sarah Tool sampler. That is by the Exemplary. Look at that sampler. I know that there are some of you in here that influence my purchases, but my biggest influence the past few months, to be quite honest, is that haul of magazines that I got. And then I'm looking in the back and I see all these samplers and things that, you know, I was a teenager when they come out, and so just didn't know about them. But I'm going to be on the lookout for that one. And then I marked, does me no good to mark these though, because all of them are in black and white. But I think I marked this. And then I have a December 93. And I marked a swan. And a poinsettia. Let me see if I can see the finished piece. This. Ooh, my fingernail's filthy. I didn't see it. But anyway. So those are all possible future Santa Sunday cross-stitch designs. And I've been trying to keep up with you all this week, and when I watch on TV, I've been very lax about commenting. I am watching. I am trying to keep up the best I can, but it's much easier when I'm cleaning up or cooking dinner to throw that TV on and let you play in the background so I can hear you and pop in when I think you're showing something I want to see. But that just means later on I would have to pick up my phone to actually comment, so I've not been doing that. But I will say the sweet Abby has been making me very hungry. She's always showing something, showing pics of things when it's time for dinner, so I'm starving and she's making my mouth water. And Emily, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you've not passed the crud to Jimmy Flosstube. And Pam and Steph, you had an extra long video this morning, and by the way, this video will be a little longer than what I normally do, so I'm dedicating this video to Miss Bendy Stitchy because she's been asking me for a longer video, and I've run out of things to say, which is exactly what's happening right now. What else? Who else have I watched this week? Miss Candy Stitches, I've been watching her. I was actually finishing up her newest video when I came upstairs to film this one, so I want to give a shout out to her. And the Cross Stitch Counselor, if you've not checked into her, her last name starts with V, and it's not a common name, so it didn't stick in my head, but I did remember Cross Stitch Counselor, and she talks, and she's made her first video, and she's talked about the benefits of cross-stitching and a healthy mind. So maybe she can tell us how to remember things. We're forgetful. Can't think of anything else. I know I've watched others. I rewatched one of Minnie's this week. I just love Minnie. She makes me laugh. Like I said, I think I had posted in the Flosstube group this week that, did I say Flossbook? Oh my goodness. In Mania this week, that I have an employee whose name is Minnie. And I'm having to type up something about, to do with my employees. And I typed Minnie Gray twice on this paper. Minnie Gray. Before I realized that, no, her last name is not Gray. But also I had Minnie Gray on my mind, so I watched one of her videos again this week, or actually this morning while I was cleaning. But I hope everyone here in the States is having a great Labor Day, just a day to kick back and maybe grill out and have a nice dinner with family and friends. It's kind of the not official, but the unofficial end of our summer here in the States. So happy Labor Day to my American brothers and sisters out there. And I'm going to leave you all with that. Have a great week. I may or may not pop back in next Saturday. We've got a good bit of plans, so I may make another video Sunday or Monday of next week. But anyway, have a great rest of the day. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.